We just watched Beauty and the Beast. Oh my gosh, my heart is so happy right now. Childhood dreams come to life. So before going into it, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it, like, because I love the original so much that I thought this one was gonna disappoint me, but it actually like exceeded my expectations so much. And I was like, I don't know if I'd like Emma Watson as Belle because she's Hermione to me, and like, it's just weird. But it was so good, it was so perfect, like magical and amazing. So we're at dinner right now. Oh, she put it down. And there's a lady holding up a menu blocking her husband and his lobster because she doesn't want to look at it. It's so funny. There's so many reasons why Beauty and the Beast is just like one of my favorite Disney movies. The thing that just like gets me about this movie is Belle is like, everyone in town is like, she's so weird. Look at this. They call her like a funny girl, a peculiar mademoiselle, and all these names and stuff. Like, look at this weirdo reading her books, skipping through town and stuff, and like she just doesn't fit in with anyone. And then she meets this freaking beast. Well, like Gaston is like this hot guy who's like, I can get whatever I want because I'm just the most handsome man in town, and he wants the most beautiful girl, and that's all that matters to him. And Belle just like appreciates things and values things and like her family and like how her dad, she literally risked her life. She gave up her life for her own father because she's like, no, I want you to be free, so I'll take your place. And then she's stuck in this freaking castle with Beast, and then she learns to love him for who he actually is and not for his appearances. And everyone in her town later thinks Beast is this ferocious monster and he's this horrible man locked away from society, and he thinks no one will ever love him, but she loves him and he loves her, and it's so beautiful. I just love Beauty and the Beast. It's always been like one of my favorites because of like the messages that it sends too, about just like seeking the inner beauty in things and finding truth and beauty, which is not just on the surface. Like, it's not surface level superficial crap. Like other Disney movies, I feel like have this level of superficial. Little Mermaid, for example, she leaves her whole family, gives up everything for a freaking guy she doesn't even know because she's like, oh, he's so cute, I love him. Belle is just, I don't know, the part where she just freaking going through town and everyone's like, oh, this weird girl, and she goes running into the field, like, she seeks more than what her town has to offer. It's like you're stuck in a town with these like small-minded, superficial people, and it's like, you know, there's just more out there for you, and you want more out of life than what your surroundings has to offer. And it's so frustrating to be stuck with these people, like, no one understands you, and like, oh, I don't know. And then there's this part in the movie, like the live action movie was so true to the cartoon in a lot of ways. Like even the Beast's voice is like similar. It was really good. Like a lot of similarities. There were differences too, like some kind of weird differences. Like there's this one part where the Beast just starts singing and I'm like, what? But anyways, yeah, overall, really good movie. Really enjoyed it. It was true to the original mostly. It was just beautiful. It was amazing. It was surpassed all my expectations. It's like honestly one of my favorite, probably my favorite Disney movie like ever made, for the story and the characters and the songs. Like I love the music from it. I just love it. It's great. I'm waiting for it to come back to Broadway. I've been like waiting to see Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, so hopefully it'll come back. It is so beautiful to be by the beach, the water. I do miss New York though. Like, we watched this movie last night, Panic Room, and I was telling my aunt, like in the beginning titles there were like New York City buildings with the actors' names in them. I was like, oh, I miss New York. Like when I'm away, I just miss it. And I feel like, and she's like, oh, that's good. It's good to live somewhere that you miss. That means you're like living in the right place because you miss it when you're gone. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know how much longer I'll live in New York for, and I'm just trying to like appreciate it while I'm there. So yeah, everyone, I think life is too short to live somewhere if you're not truly happy. If you don't like really love where you live, then move, like go somewhere. Even if you're alone. Like I moved to New York City not knowing a single person, by myself. I was like, this is something I always wanted to do. I tried to convince my family to move there, but it's not working. and now my family's all like trying to convince me to move to Florida. So this morning when I was in church, I was thinking about Beauty and the Beast because the message was like, see others as God sees you, not because as humans, like, we're so judgmental and we see things for how they are, or how we think they are, or how they like appear to be, but to really look into the hearts of others and not appearances, and not to judge. And that's like one thing that is like a theme in Beauty and the Beast, is like she sees the beast for who he is, not like for what he appears to be. So I thought that was just really beautiful. I actually dug up this old blog post I wrote back in 2014. I wrote a blog post called Preconceived Notions about how we judge people when we see them, and it's just like in our nature. It's so easy to just like look at someone and think you know their whole life story based on like the way they talk, where they're from, if they have tattoos, what like their skin color, their anything about them. You just like have these preconceived notions about people. Like you don't even know them, but you have this thing in your mind of like who they are, what they're like. So that's something. And then I wrote about how Beauty and the Beast is like one of my favorite movies of all time because of this whole thing of like meeting someone and not judging them for those preconceived notions, like what you think, like, oh, it's a beast, he's terrible, he's mean, he's horrible, he's whatever you think. And then her in town, how she's like, everyone sees her as this weirdo, she's just living in her fantasy land with her books, and she's just weird, and she's a funny girl. And in the movie, she keeps going, like she goes to her dad at one point, she's like, Dad, everyone in the village thinks I'm this like funny girl. And then she tells him, the beast, later, yeah, everyone just thinks no one, it's like, you're misunderstood, no one understands you, you're this peculiar mademoiselle, says everyone. If enough people tell you something, you might start to believe that it's true. Like we were just talking about this the other day, like say you have someone in your life, like your partner, someone who is putting you down or telling you things about yourself. Over time, they tell you this enough and you like see them every day, you're gonna start to, it's like it sinks into your mind and you start to go crazy and believe what they say. But that's just toxic people in your life that you need to get rid of. And it's like we need to know ourselves for who we are, not for what like people tell us that we are. Because like only you know who you are. And to see someone for like how God sees them, like for your heart, that is how you should be seeing people and treating them, not for the judgments and the putting people down and the preconceived notions we have. So all of that. But to meet someone who actually sees you for more than what those judgments are, like to actually get to know someone. And that's why I love Beauty and the Beast. It's such a beautiful story. So yeah, I could probably just go on and on. I could make like a 20-minute long video, but I'll stop now. So yes, go see it. It was so good.